normally a little bit slower. We're, a little late hopping on, but we're still going to rip through all the pairs we're looking at for the week. We're just going to cover the higher time frame analysis for you guys, and this will be recorded so people can view it afterwards. So, yeah, why don't you kick it off and get into it?
Oh yeah, guys. All right. So those of you that have been here before, the veterans, if you will, you guys know we always start off on DXY, right? So what we like to do is just get the overall sentiment on the higher time frame, and then work our way down to the 4-hour, and then come up with two potential trade scenarios as to where price action could go for the week ahead. All right. So we're here on the daily. We were bearish for quite a while, right? Lower lows, lower highs, moving through support. This was our key level right here at this monthly, right at 91.5. Okay, and then once we broke that, we turned bullish. So we broke this lower high, this resistance, pushed a little higher, came back down, formed a higher low, and then formed a new high. Okay, so at this point, we know that we're still bullish as long as we're above this monthly, right? But we do see that we're in a huge pullback. So at this point, we want to drop to the 4-hour, take a look at this trend, see what's going on. But also, I want to take one last look on the daily here and show you guys what the potential is just looking at the daily, right? What can we see with this formation? It's potentially a head and shoulders. This would be the neckline being confirmed, and then we'd make an attempt for the right shoulder, right? So that's potential here if we do get a reversal and a push higher. But let's go to the 4-hour, get a closer look, and see what's going on. So we're overall bullish on the daily. Okay, definitely bearish on the 4-hour here. So we can see we're kind of blowing through support levels. Pretty steep trend, lower low, lower high, strong 4-hour trend. So we're coming up to that key level, right? 91.5 this monthly. So from here, it's going to either break or bounce. So we could either see this happen where it bounces at support, kind of ranges for a little bit, gains some footing, and then makes an attempt to push higher. So in that case, you could enter on reversal down here. That's probably the higher risk option. Not as safe as entering, after a higher low above this resistance level, right at 92 flat, basically, and then we'll target higher and so on. All right, so that's pretty much the long scenario here on the dollar. If it does reverse, then we'll deem it bullish or not, depending on how it reacts. But yeah, as long as it's above this level right here, it's pretty much bullish according to the daily. So if it does break this level, this is going to be a continuation of the 4-hour bearish trend, and then also a daily transition. So this could be pretty significant, and it would be confirmed here if we saw a lower high, right? So if we saw break of support, retest of resistance, massive rejection, exhaustion, bearish setups, that would be enough confirmation to say, okay, the dollar is definitely bearish, it's heading lower. And then we'll look to target down towards some main levels right here, pretty much 90.75, and then even lower, okay, back down towards these levels, these lows at more significant psychological levels like 90 flat. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right now. This level really here is just the decider of where this is going to go. So break or bounce, that's really what we're looking for out of DXY, but overall very bearish on the 4-hour. So we'll see what this week has for us. All right, let's move on to our first pair, AUD USD. We're going to go to the daily first, see what's going on. All right, so we know that there's a good amount of ranging on DXY. We saw how it was kind of pushed up here, and now it's kind of in this level. So we're kind of seeing that on AU too, a little bit of like high volume, lower time frame breaks and stuff, but we really just got to wait for the right confirmations. So we're here on the daily, overall very bullish as we can see, and then we're kind of ranging here, right? Clear resistance at 0.78, clear support at this weekly. Okay, so it's kind of, just again, ranging. So we're going to get down to the 4-hour, check out some scenarios, but overall pretty much bullish here on the daily. Okay, on to the 4-hour. So we're also consolidating down here at support, this weekly level, 0.76, held very well, also a very key level. As we know, we look back, it's held multiple times. Okay, so it was good to see some rejection from there, and then a continuation to the upside. So we had kind of forecasted that last week. We were expecting either a reversal from here and a push higher, or a break lower. Clearly, it broke to the upside. So we're going to try and continue with that trend, right? This nice little 4-hour push. We kind of want to stick to our rules here. Look for the most confluence in an area, and that would be right here at 38.2, right above support at 0.7685. Boom, this would be absolutely perfect. It's pulling back now to get a nice reversal here. See structure formation. This would be just absolutely textbook. And we'll target higher towards key resistance, 0.78, and our negative 27 fib levels. So honestly, just looking for this higher low to confirm, and then we're in. It's looking really, really good. Okay, but let's say we don't get the bounce. Let's say, it breaks this level back below 0.7685. We get that lower high. You could take a lower time frame short position back into the support level down here, but keep in mind the higher time frame is overall bullish. So you could get caught off sides if you don't wait for the right confirmation here. So could be a nice little short opportunity. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, my bet is definitely long on this one this week. All right, that's AU. Move on, AJ.
Long.
Yeah, not all of them, some of them though. The good ones.
What's going on with this one?
So that's AU. AJ is looking interesting. It's in a bit of a pullback. Overall, very bullish here on the daily, as we can see. But then look at the volume increase here, guys. There is a good amount of volume in the market, but it is ranging. I mean, just like we saw in AU, AJ, very similar. But key supports 84.4. Key resistance 84.4. Key supports 82.2. Okay, big ass range. So kind of consolidating too. We're getting some higher lows, lower highs. So it's getting even, price action is getting even more restricted. So we could see an aggressive break soon, but overall very bullish. Let's see what the 4 hours got for us. All right, a little more ranging in here. This is that restricting we were talking about. 83.3 is now the new support. 84.4 still resistant. So it's creeping up a little bit, right? We're seeing this is a higher low clearly. So I do want to see this, push higher. That would be ideal overall, with the trend, bullish trend. So we'd like to see a higher low first above 84.4 before we can enter, and then we'll target prior highs, target the 0%. That'd be a nice trade, classic break and retest. But it is pulling back a little bit right now. So, maybe it's going to pull back to 61.8, 83.3. Could catch a nice reversal there if you look for a lower time frame break of structure, drop to the 1 hour, 30 minute, look for those long entries there. And then, look to ride it into this position, higher low after that, and so on. But yeah, right now it actually is pulling back quite a bit. Good amount of volume. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, look to play the range, wait for the breakout, up to you. This is what AJ is looking like this week.
Yeah, if anything on this one, guys, I'd be looking for a pullback into like 84, 100 area and looking a short into that lower level that Nick's talking about because it's pretty big.
Right. That's what you're saying. Yeah, just like this. Like a little pullback to right there, and then a dump. Because this is what you're looking at, right? This lower time frame break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually a great point Angelo just made. We just saw conviction here. So there's a lower time frame retest that could occur that you could catch an entry on and then target back down towards this weekly. Absolutely. And then, consider this option, break or bounce, right? So it could play the range, continue to, and you'd buy down there. Or of course, if it broke lower, you'd be managing this trade, maybe scaling in, adding to it, so on. So yeah, that's AJ. Not bad. Let's move on to UJ next. Daily time frame to start. Overall, very bullish. Seems to be forming that head and shoulders that we had talked about earlier that we just saw in DXY. No surprise, as it's obviously very correlated. USD, JPY. So very, very bullish. Could be seeing that pattern form, but we do see here that it is pulling back quite a bit on the 4 hour, right? So now let's drop to the 4 hour. Take a look at those two scenarios. But overall, very bullish. So, all right, so here we are. It's pulling back to 38.2. So this is actually a good sign because we knew that this was extremely overextended, right? As price action was all the way up here, it still had not formed structure, right? Even as it pulled back to test 109.2, still no structure formation. 38.2 was all the way down here the whole time. So we finally just saw that, and look what's happening. Price action is kind of stalling a little bit. We're getting some more indecision. So there's actually a couple ways this could go. I just drew the two breakout options. So either, ideally we want to see it bounce at some point and continue through this level to the upside, and we could target 111.5, right? As we see higher lows and this bullish trend continue, or the breakout to the downside. So let's say this range fails and this 4 hour bearish trend continues strong. We see a lower high and a push lower. That's definitely possible. I just highlighted those two breakout options, but before these breakout options happen, you could see ranging continue like we saw over here. See how, kind of went into the zone, range for a little bit before it found its footing and then took off. So we could see that happen for a little bit, could range a little bit more, and then finally follow one of these paths. But this is pretty much it. We're either waiting for this either type of head and shoulders pattern to continue, then we'll catch the break lower, or just catch a nice pullback in a bullish trend, and then we're long off structure. All right, so that's UJ. Pretty straightforward. Just got to kind of wait for something here. It's stalling. That's step one. Now we need some conviction. We need to see something major. All right, so that's UJ. Next is EJ. This chart actually looks crazy, but it's super, super simple, which is kind of refreshing out of EJ because it has been kind of a mess in the past, especially since COVID and shit. But anyway, daily time frame, overall bullish in EJ, right? We can see that we are consolidating just based off the daily. We can see we're consolidating. Look at all these candles in there, at a high. So very interesting, overall bullish. Let's drop down to the 4-hour, go over these two scenarios. Okay, so this is, again, right, so it's starting to range a little bit. We're definitely consolidating. Huge support and resistance levels that have been hit. These huge swings into these levels multiple times. And again, right here, huge swing into resistance. But there's one difference here. What we're seeing now is different from what we've seen in the past. Every time we got to one of these levels, price action kind of reacted sharply or consolidated in the middle, reacted pretty sharply, again, double top, and then dropped, reacted sharply, and so on. But that's not what's happening here. We're consolidating at a high. That means price action is holding at this high, right? That's a good sign. That means we have a large possibility that we're going to break to the upside. We saw this in the past with EJ. It likes to consolidate at these big levels, and then it finally makes its move. So this is very, very likely, right? Looking for this higher low. This is definitely the option I'm favoring, right? This little bullish outlook. Looking for a higher low, looking to break higher towards negative fib levels. The 27 first, followed by the 61. But yeah, so this could be a big move. And also, no, guys, EJ, once it kind of commits to whatever it's doing, whether it's going to go bullish, whether it's going to go bearish, whether it's going to consolidate, it really freaking commits. I mean, this thing is a huge amount of consolidation. This is a huge swing. So, these large moves are not unlikely out of EJ once it does, take off. But yeah, so looking for that higher low, going to target higher. If we do see the reversal, again, very straightforward. That's the beauty of trading, rectangle patterns or ranges, if you will. It's very easy to see, your two scenarios. So this one's no different. We're looking for a break lower, lower high, enter on some bearish confirmations and setups, and then target lower. Take out all these support levels as targets and so on. All right, so that's EJ. Pretty interesting. Very different looking chart this week. All right, so that's EJ. Let's wrap this up with gold. Daily time frame to start, guys. We're bearish. This thing's definitely bearish. We were bullish overall as long as we were above 1800, but clearly we saw that break a couple weeks ago, right? So we did move lower from that zone. We formed a double bottom at our monthly zone, 1675 flat, pretty much on the dot, perfect double bottom pattern. And then it reversed from there, made an attempt at consolidation. We'll show that on the 4-hour in a minute, and then gave us a higher low ultimately and started pushing higher. So the daily's bullish again for the most part, but this 1800 level is kind of sketchy. So we'll see how it reacts there, but definitely looking bullish at a gold right now. So let's go to the 4-hour, look at these scenarios. Okay, so this is that consolidation I was talking about after this double bottom. Well, first we had this touch of the monthly. It came back up, consolidated a whole bunch, tons of indecision in here. Dropped again, went for the second touch. As soon as it came down to this level, look at that. Reversed, shot straight up, started consolidating, creeping higher, started seeing some higher lows, break of resistance, and then the first confirmed higher low above. And then after that, just took off, right? Nice bullish pressure up to this 1800 level, which is where we're pretty much at now. But I honestly don't think this is done pushing. I think this is going to push into 1800 a little bit. So we'll get a new 0% closer up to this level. Then it'll pull back the form structure, and then we'll see a continuation, right? That's what we're looking for at this point. I want to see a higher low, another higher low. I want to see structure continue to form on this 4-hour. and then you know, we'll target that way. But if this doesn't play out, let's say we get 1800 hit, and then we start to reverse, right? Let's say we don't get that higher low, it just pushes right back through 1765. Then we're looking for shorts. So this is what we need to see. Take a short position, the lower high right below this level. Okay, this would be the first step. So this would be more or less probably like a 1 hour trade in here that you'd be looking to get in on. Ride this 1 hour, like ride it into this support level. So this would be like a 1 hour trade you'd be entering on a 30-minute, looking for this lower high to form. And then we're going to target this level, and then we're looking for the same thing. This would be the real significant level to break. And it would confirm serious bearishness on gold if we saw this, right? And then we're targeting all the way down towards our monthly again. So if it does turn around, guys, this thing could be supremely bearish, and we'll be looking to enter on all these lower highs. But if we do see structure form for the second time, and this bullish trend actually is stronger than we think, we could see a nice rally through 1800, and then we'll reanalyze and evaluate going into next week. All right, but yeah, this
we'll
is
definitely be trying to buy at that 1765 area, guys. So beware of that, because you got 3 confirmations there. You got the 38.2, it's the previous little minor support level, and then if it shows any sort of rejection there, then you're gonna have enough kind of conviction to take a buy there.
Yep, absolutely. So again, yeah, as long as it's above this level, guys, looking for those buys. We see these start to break, maybe we'll start considering the opposite. All right, so that's it from me, guys. Quick recap: I did DXY. I'll jump to the daily. Make it actually. Never mind. Go back to the 4 hour. Covered the day. Covered DXY. Covered AU. Covered AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. Just a reminder, you guys can find these in the Telegram for your review. Angelo can show you how to get there even, and on Discord as well.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll go ahead and share up. We're gonna go through all the major pairs now. So here, I might look at gold again one more time. Let's see. All right, let's get started with USEF. So let's just look real quick at the dollar index. So the dollar index is pretty freaking bearish, guys. Pretty bearish. This was last week. We went over this. Let's see when it opened. I guess right over here, right around here, it opened up. Opened up, respect to the resistance level. 1, 2 times, pushed down, bearish the entire week last week. So we're in the same type of scenario right now, guys. Just structure, don't overcomplicate things. Broke this low, pushed down, pushed up, respecting this level, pushed down. Actually retested this little minor support level 3 times, pushed down, and then now let's look, where could we potentially be respecting this? If we were to bring on some zones, we've got this area right here that could be respected right away, or ultimately it could push all the way up back to this weekly level and respected. So the trend is certainly very bearish in the dollar. Coming up to the weekly time frame and taking a look right here, price pushed down lower. I mean, we're testing this whole area. As long as we're kind of below this resistance level, guys, I'm going to continue to look at this as being bearish. It's just pretty self-explanatory. The trend is your friend out here. So with that being said, let's go over to some of these pairs, take a look at some of these ideas that we got mapped out for you for this week. So we've got this weekly time frame here. On the weekly, clearly price pushed down below support, boom, came down now to this next support level. We're starting to open up a little bit bullish this week, obviously, but clearly support was broken, a lot of conviction, a lot of sellers stepped in the market. We talked about this last week too. Didn't get much movement last week, but clearly the trend remained bearish. And just looking at these levels here, we have some room to still push down into support right now. So going down now to the 4 hour, which is where we'll see things a little bit more clearly. 4 hour time frame, very clearly in a downtrend, broke support, pushed down, formed some minor support here, pushed down right here, pulled back to retest, and then pushed to a new low. This support level was then retested right here, and then push down. Hold on one second. Hold on. Mm, 20. All right, so this support level was broken, retested, pushed down, and then this support level was broken, retested, pushed down. So again, keeping it simple here, what do we do right now? You know what I mean? Where do we look for this next potential area to sell? I would want to sell when price gets back to here at a minimum. So I'm looking for price to come up, retest this level. There's some confluence here with this outer edge of this zone. So if we come up to this level, I'm going to be looking to short it. For now, you know, we're already so low. If I were to go down to the 30-minute time frame, you know, this thing looks like a mess. If I were to take buys, what I would be looking for if I was trying to aggressively buy this is none of this. This isn't a lot of conviction for me. I want to see another leg up. So I want this to push up a little bit more and then pull back. And then that's when I'll buy into that level that I want to start to sell at. So right now there's nothing doing on this one, but we're going to stick to the higher time frame. So this is the overall idea, trying to just continue with this downtrend. I'm not trying to bring on these trend lines too much because they're very subjective. You draw it here, draw it there, blah, blah, blah. But this zone right here is based on the volume, and there's going to be a ton of volume kicking in here, or it could push all the way up to this level. So we've got two areas to kind of look for right now. Let's see. Let me turn on vid. Yeah, I turned off. I turned off the vid. Hold up. Is your audio still on?
Yeah, it's also.
Oh yeah. Let me see. The newest and latest feature with Zoom. They're like adding all of these freaking security things.
Yeah, because man, we learned the hard way early on.
Here you go. Yeah, now you can put it on.
All right, good.
There you go. All right, so guys, this is looking pretty clean. This is looking pretty clean. All we got to do is wait for the retest, guys. Once it gets up around this level, that's when I'll be starting to look for shorts on this one. Let's look at UCAD right here. So let's go up a time frame. Let's start off on the weekly. What does the weekly look like overall? Weekly has been pretty bearish to this point. And just clear some of this up. Clear this up. Okay, cool. All right, so clearly pretty bearish on the weekly time frame. Broke support here, retested as resistance. Broke support here, retested as resistance. Broke support here. Now we're getting that retest as resistance again. Look how last week formed. Last week, bit of a doji spinning top type candle, just showing indecision at the level. So this thing could push back up again before we get another short opportunity to the downside. Let's go to the daily time frame. So daily time frame last week started to like push over. Just looking at this right away, this kind of looks like a falling wedge here on a lower time frame, but we can clearly see the daily formed some level of support at this level. We managed to break below there. Then we had a support level form here. We managed to break below there. So we certainly could continue to just trend lower. Coming to the 4 hour, you know, what would be the best area to short again? That would be right here. I did draw this trend line. I'm not too big a fan on trend lines because they are extremely subjective, but this is just kind of, I like to just use them to kind of just visualize. Like obviously the trend's very bearish, forming, you know, in a downtrend. So we're looking to short from here though. This is the area we're looking to short from. Nice resistance levels at this area. If we look left here, bring on this path tool. If we look left, this was resistance, this was support, this was support. So there's definitely a lot of orders sitting at this level. So once price gets up to there, we will look to take this thing down. If we go to the lower time frame, what is this looking like? Lower time frame is looking bullish. So if you wanted to take some intraday moves, it would be this. If you wanted to short this, you know, much sooner than waiting for the overall move, this is where you'd be looking to buy right here. And don't just buy at the level, wait for some sort of like support to be formed. You target that target up there. You put your stops right around here. So this is the potential trade right here if you want to line this up. for early in the week, and then or like for tonight, and then ultimately we're waiting for price to come up to that level. So I'm going to move this over to the watch list. Let's go next to Nzd USD. Let's start on the weekly time frame. So we've got these nice two zones here. As we can see, price pushed below the support level, didn't hold. A lot of sellers kicked in, and then last week drove us back right up into this level. So what do we do now? This is definitely resistance. This is definitely resistance right here. So, let's make our way down to the lower time frame with that in mind. Daily time frame to end last week, this level was definitely respected. Didn't exactly engulf. So it does look like it's going to fuck around a bit over here, but definitely respected this level. So I'm looking for potential reversals coming to the 4 hour. We already started to get a break of support here, break of support here. This gap is kind of throwing things off, but ultimately, guys, every time frame below the 4 hour is pretty bearish. Where would I try to start to short this? This would be the high risk trade, shorting from here down into this low. And then you'd put your stops wherever you want, as you could put them here, or you could put them above this level at around 25 pips. Still great risk reward on that one. Or if you go back up to the 4 hour, wait for it. Actually, that's a good area. That's a good area right there. I was going to say wait for it to come all the way back up to here, but there's two confluences here. We've got this edge of value, this zone, and then we also have the previous lower high. So this could be a potential trade to line up, guys. I'm not going to take any buys on this until we have some sort of break again on the 4 hour. 4 hour shifting to the downside 100%. So definitely going to check this out for some sells early in the week. So I'm going to move this one over to Z watch list. Next, oh shit, I'm getting blinded by my flashlight. All right, next let's take a look at GJ weekly time frame. So everyone and their mother is anticipating GJ to find support here and go to the upside. That leads me to be kind of like, nah, like I don't know what to think. You know what I mean? Like everyone's expecting this thing to go bullish. It kind of at the end of last week faked everyone out already, so we did get that fake out to the downside and established support here. So I don't know what to think. Coming down to the daily, I just don't want to get caught on this one just because it's like one of those obvious trades, and then you know what I mean, like you get caught offside. So we just want to be patient on this. Looking at the daily time frame on this one, guys, we had this push up, and then this is that pullback. A lot of support established here. I mean, it looks great. It looks great to go bullish. I'm just trying to be like cautious. We had several candles in a row establishing this as support. And the end of last week, huge bullish candle. So let's go down to the 4 hour and see like what does that all mean. So 4 hour time frame, we had some sort of pattern here, not exactly a descending triangle, more like some sort of falling wedge. I forget any way to draw this thing. So some sort of falling wedge here. Price is trying to head lower, failing to actually push lower, still forming lower highs. Ultimately, that results in a big push up, which we already broke out of. So this is like my two ideas to go bullish on this. Pretty much, more conservatively, break, retest, then go long. Or, less conservatively, we come back down to this level, form some sort of higher low, and just start longing it right away. If we come down to the 30-minute, we can see here we're already descending into a downtrend. So we broke support. Now we're coming back up to retest resistance. So this could certainly be a play. Early in the week, this could be a play right here. Stops at 15 pips. And then targets at this level where we're obviously targeting it to bounce from. So if it finds resistance at this level, this can be a very nice opportunity for early in the week. So I'm going to push this one over to the watch list. We got a couple of trades lining up that we could take potentially tonight. Let's see. Now, Euro USD on the weekly. This one on the weekly doesn't look that like too promising. I mean, we're in a downtrend, clearly broke support, tested as resistance, broke support, tested as resistance, broke support, never quite made it back to retest. Now we're coming back up for kind of that retest here. I don't like how it broke this resistance level here. This is obviously pretty bullish right now. Two huge bullish candles in a row. Coming down to the daily, things pretty bullish. You know, broke resistance down here, broke resistance right here, tested as support, pushed up. Now we've formed some resistance at this level. So ultimately, you know, not looking too much into all this. What should we be trying to do on this one? Last week, it was very simple. We were in the same position. We were right, I believe, here. And the signal on Sunday was go long, and it pushed, you know, on this one, pushed pretty dramatically to the upside. It's the same signal this week, guys. We're looking to go long on this. We're into some different type of levels here, but you know, ultimately, if this support level holds on the 4 hour, go long. You know, long into the next potential area. Like we were to bring on the fibs and start to use this for the target, it would be here, -27, right in this area. So that's what the trade would look like. If we were able to get it down here, stops would be right below the support level, right in this area. That would be the trade idea on EU. If this thing just tanks and the dollar starts getting stronger, breaks support here, if this thing flips around, that's what this would be a perfect trade. Retest the support, retest the resistance, go short. So definitely two good ideas there. But the first idea is going to be this long. This long idea would be a little bit of a swing trade, but it would be definitely a nice position to get in. So I'll push that one over. Last, I'm going to go over the infamous GU.
Let them know.
So on the weekly time frame with GU, last week formed a bullish engulfing. So we had this bullish engulfing here. Boom. Telling us that more buyers are stepping in than sellers at that price. Let's go down to the daily. What's this showing us? So on the daily time frame, although that was a bullish engulfing, this is why you got to use every time frame, guys. Although that was a bullish engulfing, this is clearly in a downtrend. Forming this low, pulling back, forming this low, pulling back, forming this low. Now we're pulling back. Till we really break above this level, I'm still going to look for sells or overall look for sells. Again, if we bring on our little trend line, clearly this thing's trending downward. It has a lot of momentum right now, but so did this, so did this, so did this. So we don't want to get caught just trying to buy the top. As I come to the 4 hour, there is absolutely no position right now on the 4 hour. This would be the best trade if we got in on a support level right here. Retest the previous high. This is where I love to take trades. Retest the previous high right here. Boom. Take the trade right there. Try to ride it into the next extension level if we were to fib this. So yeah, guys, that's kind of the idea with GU. It broke support on the 30 minutes, so this thing looks like it's going to continue to push down now. So if you were to come down all the way on like the 5 minute on this one, bring on our trusty old little VWAP, even though it's too early in the day, this thing is looking like it's going to continue to trend down, testing this zone. So this thing is going to push down a bit more. And then we'll look to get in on that long opportunity down at the bottom. So that's GU. I'm going to actually move this one over too. So quite a few pairs I'm looking at. Got ideas for all of them for this week. We'll see which ones play out the earliest. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys. I'm going to do, or we're going to make an announcement in the chat. I'm going to do a webinar. I might do a webinar tomorrow, just like some random stuff for Forex League, like just covers maybe structure or something, like just like a beginners type webinar. I might do that for the group. I'll announce it in the chats though. Other than that, I mean, this week, for those that haven't seen, Nick said, like, let me pull up the Telegram. Let me pull this up real quick for you fellas and ladies in here. So this week or today we posted all of our analysis as we do every week. You guys can come in, read through our ideas for the week, and then if you scroll up a little bit more in here, we've got this PDF. So we have someone posting fundamentals now, a new guy actually posting some fundamentals for us, and he's doing some like a lot more in-depth breakdowns and a lot to learn from these reports. So if you guys haven't checked this out yet, definitely go give it a read. He did the breakdowns earlier today. I'll go back to it just to show you guys. So it's all of this. He's covering the looks like consumer price index here, a couple different reasons why stocks are apparently going to go down, whatever. But he's got a lot of info on here. I would suggest you guys read through that. I myself is going to read through the pre-market open report as well. And then we're doing a challenge this month. If we can get enough people in here, there's going to be tiers to the winner of this stuff. But basically, you have to open a $250 live account with Prosperity FX. And then we're going to do a challenge where whoever makes the highest percentage gains for the month is going to get an FX seed account. So if you want to get started with that, just go and deposit into the broker. Last month we did it where everyone did it on a demo. This month we'll see if people can do it on live. Definitely a different game out here. So if you're interested, it's $250, and then you'll get free FX challenge. And obviously, don't blow your accounts. Just trade responsibly. Stay within the rules here, and yeah, you'll be good to go. So that's pretty much it from me. Do you got anything else you want to add?
Pretty much it, guys. So just wait today out, see how this week goes. If you guys need us, refer to the Discord. You can reach us there. Check back with these analyses, and yeah, stay ready for us on Wednesday. That's what our next session is.
Yeah, Wednesday will be the next session in the morning. I actually got to talk to you because me and Brian want to do. We're doing the live trading sessions in New York now. So we were thinking of potentially moving the Wednesday call, but I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. We got to see because like last week we were trading live. I like freaking should have closed the GJ trade like while we were doing the analysis, and I like fucked everything up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll talk because I don't want to like change too much at one time.
Right. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Whatever it is, guys, we'll keep you updated with whatever we decide. You guys will always have ample time notification for these sessions.
Well, for now, plans like always, Wednesday 9 a.m. We'll be back on for the free session. I'll announce the webinar at some point when that's gonna be. And yeah, I mean, other than that, just stay active in the chat. And best of luck to you all this week in the markets. Use the analysis to your advantage.
Hell yeah, guys. All right, we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Peace out.
Peace, guys.